Hi, welcome back. We are going to talk about the most important chapter in this whole certification, which is developing your capture or opportunity strategy. Use the word capture or opportunity strategy as synonymous to each other because in this talk I might be using both at different times, but they both are the same: capture or opportunity strategy. Regardless, whatever the terminology that I'm going to use, it is your pre-engagement position. So capture or opportunity planning happens before you engage formally in a proposal. Keep that in mind. Don't start something after you receive a proposal and call it capture strategy, because it is not. So there is a long list of best practices that we'll be covering in this chapter, but let me take you through one at a time. Number one, you have to distinguish strategy at different phases of your business development lifecycle. What do I mean by that? You have your business strategy. What do your business as a whole needs to achieve in a year or in a quarter or in a 3 months time or in that age? But next you have the market strategy. What is your strategy to be achieved in the market, your market share, competitive positioning? Next, you have the opportunity or capture strategy specific to a particular opportunity. What is your strategy? Next, you have the sales strategy, similar to opportunity strategy. How am I going to sell and win this project? Sales side. Next, you have the proposal strategy, which is how am I going to write a persuasive proposal that's going to enable me to win this particular proposal. So understand what strategy means to you at different parts of your BD lifecycle. Having done that, the next one is you analyze your current position with standard templates and tools. Why is it important? Because when you benchmark your position against your competition using strategic templates, capture templates, then you could repurpose it, and if you win or lose, you can use lessons learned and you can take it further. If you use different types of assessments, say this bid, I'm going to assess it this way, I'm going to spend 3 months, 6 months, and I'm going to come out with a slide deck, and the next one use an Excel spreadsheet, it's not going to go well, because you have to be in a position to be consistent in your things. So always use standard tools and templates while capturing your opportunity strategy. The next one is define and agree common terms and definition. As I mentioned, the word capture, use capture. The word opportunity strategy, use opportunity strategy. Win themes, value proposition, bidder comparison matrix. In your organization, what do those words mean? Are they the same as what APMP perceived? If you have a different terminology, use those different terminology and don't be confused. Use a standard template and use standard terminologies. Once you have done that, then you define and agree your opportunity objective specific to this objective. That's a mistake people do. People tend to take what they have done in the past and try to reapply specific for this opportunity. Remember, proposal, content planning, lifting and dropping is one, whereas this particular opportunity capture strategy is not the same, because a lot of things might have moved from the time you submitted a previous proposal. Your competitor might have acquired a company, you might have done successful bids or lost some bids, your partners might have changed, your customer's opinion might have changed, it might be a different customer altogether. So make it bespoke, make it custom new every single time. Now, once you define and agree that single opportunity objective, think about the issues, the motivations, and the hot buttons, as I mentioned, to talk about specific topics. Hot buttons, as you know, is a high priority task. For this particular opportunity, what are the hot buttons? What are the issues? And what are the motivators of your buyers? And your motivators could very well be different stakeholders, which we'll touch in a minute. So once you formulated that, standard tools, standard terminology, unique opportunity management. Next, you're going to identify your economic buyers. These are the buyers who are going to give the approval, your technical buyers, and the users who will be involved on, and you will be involved on this tender and their individual issues. You might need to refresh the content plan chapter for this particular thing, because every single buyer or every single user who's involved on this particular tender might have their own needs, might have their own wants. Capturing their needs and wants and having the issues will be of critical importance while you're planning your stakeholder management, you're planning your capture strategy. So once you've documented that, Then typically a bidder comparison matrix, where you just take the opportunity, list those hot buttons, and then see what will be your solution to those issues, which is hot buttons, and go by competitors, at least 3. What will be your competitors' solution to those issues? Bidder comparison matrix. Some organization use SWOT analysis, strengths, weakness, opportunity, threats. Again, whatever you use, be consistent and use it in the same way if you're doing it for other bits. So frame your bidder comparison matrix or SWOT analysis. Now you've got a little bit more information, issues, and your solution. Move to the next one, where you're going to create specific strategy statements. How are you going to create strategy statements for this? Number 1, you're going to play on your strengths. You're going to mitigate your weakness. You are going to downplay your competitor's strengths, and you're going to highlight your competitor's weakness. So 4 strategy statement comes out with, and if you have 3 or 4 issues around it, you have 4 into 4, 16 different strategy statements ready for you to play with. Define the issue, frame the strategy statements. Now you've got the strategy statements. Now select the best solution approach. What I meant is have some options. Don't just go for one solution, and try to develop specific value propositions for each of your solutions. Try to go for 2 or 3 so that you could see what's the best possible solution rather than to go for one possible one. If I choose this, the risks will be high, rewards will be high. If I choose this, risk and reward will be somewhere okay. If I choose a low cost, low value approach, we might win the tender, but it won't be profitable. So think what are the different solutions for you, best possible solutions, and plan your value proposition accordingly. Now you've got that. The next one is you are creating your price win strategy around it. Obviously, you now know the buyers. Your economic buyers obviously want to have more margins, whereas your technical buyers would like to ensure that the price that you're going to put forward is de-risked so that they could deliver the project. Your program manager wants to have a lot of buffer so that he could manage the opportunity in a way, on time, on cost. And your sales team might want to have the lowest price or the optimal price to win the tender, whereas your customer might pick and choose the lowest possible bid. So your price win strategy should tackle those multiple users, and you have to come out with a blended value. Whatever is it, look into your company. How do you do your price to win strategy? Do you have a standard template, or do you understand part of your overall capture strategy? What others might have bid in the past? What do you think is the budget envelope of your customer? Use those information. Finally, you use trade-offs. Trade-offs meant if you have best possible solution already, trade-offs meant you are going to pick up the best of all the best possible solution, and you're going to come out with the most optimal solution. So trade-offs to validate your approach. Most importantly, use it to ghost your competition. You already touched it, but don't overdo it. Customer will hate it. Talk more about your solution, and where possible, when your solution is not great enough or really great, use it to balance ghosting. So, but don't overdo ghosting. Finally, implement whatever you are talking about in the strategy. You can have the best detailed strategy, but if it's unimplemented, it's useless. You could have a very high level single page strategy, but if you implement it's good enough than what you don't have. So whatever you do, implement the strategy. So let's quickly summarize what we have got. Capture is a pre-proposal initiative. It's a pre-engagement opinion. Once you have that, your best practices. Number 1, distinguish strategy at different BD level. Once you have done that, use standard templates, standard terminologies, identify the issues, identify the motivators, identify the users, put them in a bidder comparison matrix. Once you have done that, create your standard ghosting methods, strategy statements, and you utilize the price to win strategy. Finally, whatever you come across, implement that strategy regardless of how big or small it is. That's it. Developing capture or opportunity strategy.